Welcome to lesson 2.1. So we are starting unit 2 of transformations on the coordinate plane. And so this is essentially moving things across the coordinate plane with different things. So the first thing we're going to talk about is reflections. So you guys have seen reflections. So for example, when you guys look in the mirror, that's a reflection. Or the Lion King, when Simba looks into the water and he sees himself, that's a reflection, and then Mufasa pops up, so all that jazz. Reflections are kind of the opposite, like the image of what you're looking at. It's just flipped. Okay, so there are a few things that happen. So we have reflection across the x-axis, y-axis, y equals x, which is a line, and the origin. And then you guys are going to have a second video about how to find it for any line, and we'll go there next. Okay, so we're going to start with reflection over the x-axis. So the reflection over the x-axis, if I have the ordered pair AB, then it becomes A, negative B. So the sign that changes is your y value. But if we look here, so this ordered pair is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3. Okay, so this ordered pair right here is 4, 3. So if I want to do a reflection across the x-axis, then I have to find the x-axis. So remember, the x-axis is this line right here, that axis right there. So I want to do a reflection across there. So 4, 3. So essentially what we're doing is finding the distance from here to this line and then doing the same thing, okay? So I go down 3 spaces. So then on the other side of the reflection, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go down, or I'm going to go 3 spaces. And so that new point is right here, which is still 4, but it's negative 3. So if you notice, our little quick one is if it's AB, it becomes A, negative B. You change the sign of Y, which is exactly what happened. So the quickest way with these, you can remember the shortcuts, but you can also just remember you have to count the distance to there, and then you can do that. Okay, so now let's open up to the x-axis section. So I have ABC, the ordered pair, and so the original image is called the pre-image. And so it's before you do anything to it, pre-image. Then the image is after the transformation has happened, okay? So now what we have to do is find, okay, we're going to do a reflection across the x-axis, so across this axis right here, and graph the new image, okay? So there's a few different ways you can do it. You can remember the shortcut, write the new ordered pairs, or you can count. Either way is fine. Both are mathematically correct. Now, when we graph the image, we do tally marks on the letters. So I have ABC prime is what we call it. Okay, that means there has been 1 transformation. If it was 2, we'd have 2 tally marks, and then 3, then 4. That way you know how many transformations, what else has happened, because eventually you have to like pick what has happened to an image, so you have to look for the tally marks to see, okay, how many things have happened to it. Okay, so this A will be negative 3, negative 4. B will be negative 3, negative 1, and 0, negative 1. Okay, remember, for a reflection across the x-axis, you just change the sign of the y value. Now, you can figure that out by counting as well. That's 1, so 1. So B prime is right here. C is 1 space away, so it's going to be 1 down here, C prime. And then A is 1, 2, 3, 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's A prime. And if you notice, I have the image. It's just reflected across the x-axis. It's literally taken over it that way. So this is the thing. You have to make sure you label on the graph the primes. If you just put ABC, you're going to lose points and stuff because it's not correct. You have to use the primes. Okay? And then if you check the ordered pairs, it's still the same. Okay, this next one, we're going to graph across the x-axis again. So this one is already crossing over the x-axis, so you have to remember F is going to end up in this quadrant over here, and then D and E are going to end up in these quadrants. So it's literally going to kind of flip. So to do that, now this is the nice thing when you have the ordered pairs, you can just change the signs of the y values and then you have your new one. But if you don't have that and you need to graph it, you can always just count. So these would be the new ordered pairs: 2, 1, -4, -2, 2, -2, and then 2, 1. But let's graph that. So F is one space away. So new F would be, F prime would be right here. The reflection of F is right there. E is 2 spaces to the x-axis, so it'll be 2 spaces here. So that's E prime. D is 2 spaces to the x-axis, so we're going to go 2 spaces away from the x-axis, and that would be D prime. And so there is my new triangle. There's my new image. Okay, so that's a reflection across the x-axis. Okay, so now let's go to the y-axis. So if I'm reflecting across the y-axis, then I am reflecting across this line right here. Okay, this axis right here. So essentially what we're going to do is count how far away is that point and there. So this point is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3. And so it's 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. So I'm going to go 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this is my new point, which is -4, 3. So when we reflect across the y-axis, we change the sign of the x value. So AB becomes -AB. Okay, so that's the quick way you can remember it, but you can always do the counting thing. That works anytime you do this. Okay, so now let's open up and go to the x-axis, which is right here for me. Okay, so I have ABC, so A prime, hang on, A prime, B prime, C prime. And remember, we're changing the x value, so that would be 3, 4, 3, 1, and 0, 1. Okay, so remember, we're reflecting across this axis right here. So we're going to count how far away each one is. So C is still there, so that C value is going to stay the exact same, which it did on my ordered pairs. And then B is 3 away, so it's 1, 2, 3. So B prime is right there. And then A prime is right here. Okay, so we're going to draw our new image. And boom, there's our image. Sorry, it's not fully straight. It's hard drawing on an iPad sometimes. Okay, so that's our new image. So our pre-image is what we start with, and then our image is the aftermath, like what happened to it. That's our new image. Okay, so DEF, so we have D prime. So -4, 2 would become 4, 2. E prime is 2, 2, so it would be -2, 2. F is 2, -1, so F prime is going to be -2, -1. Okay, so -2, -1, there's F. If you look, it's 2 here to 2 here, so that's correct. E is -2, 2, so here's E prime. And D is 4, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So here's D prime. So then I can connect my dots to draw my image. Boom, there's my reflection across the y-axis. So this piece ended up over here, and then this piece ended up over here, okay? So that's how you can kind of check. Did it go across the line that it's supposed to? Did it reflect across that line? Okay, so now let's look at the origin. So remember, the origin is right here in the middle. Okay, so you're essentially figuring out how far away is this point. So this point is 4, 3. So now we're going to reflect across the origin. So I'm going to count to the origin. So I'm going 3, 4. So I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go 4, 3. So 4, 3. And that's my new point, which is -4, -3. So when I reflect across the origin, I'm changing the signs of both x and y. So both ordered pairs get their signs changed when we reflect across the origin. Okay, so if we look at that, we'll open up. So I have the pre-image of A, B, C, and so we're reflecting across the origin. So right here is where we're reflecting across. Okay, so C is 1 space away, so it's going to go 1 space away. So C prime is 0, -1. B prime is going to be 3, -1. And A prime is 3, -4. So essentially whatever quadrant it's in, it's going to go to the one diagonal to it. So C, -0, -1, unless it's on an axis, then it would go on the other axis, or the same axis. B is 3, -1. And so this is B prime, C prime. And then A is 3, 4. So then your image is right here. Okay, now if you draw a straight line, I'm going to show you. If you drew a straight line from A to A prime, you go straight through the origin. That means it was a reflection across the origin, okay? B to B prime, straight line, that's through the origin. C, that's through the origin. So all of these are going straight through the origin, okay? So that's what it means as a reflection across the origin. Their distance, like, to each other is it goes straight through the origin, okay? So D, E, F, so I have D prime. Oops, sorry. Forgot to change it back to my pen. So sorry. D prime is 4, -2. E prime is -2, -2. And F prime is -2, 1. Okay, so remember, you change the signs of both your x and y values. So 4, -2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's where D prime is. E prime is -2, -2. And then F prime is -2, 1. So that's right here. So I can draw my line right through here. Okay, so I have F prime, E prime, and D prime. Okay, so again, they should, if you need to check, you can always check, do they go diagonal? If you draw a line, so from E to E prime and D to D prime, it should go straight through the origin. These all go straight through the origin. Okay, so that means, yes, I reflected across the origin correctly. Okay, all right, so then y equals x. So if I have y equals x, here's the line of y equals x. So this line right here, let me draw it. Hang on. This is the line y equals x. Okay. So we're going to reflect across that. So what that means is that AB switches to BA. Okay, AB switches to BA. So my ordered pair is 4, 3. So if you look, this is the reflection right here. You're going diagonally across that. And that ordered pair is 3, 4. Okay, and so we're going to talk about how to reflect over y equals a number and x equals a number in the next video, but this is the last one for this video. So y equals x, AB becomes BA. Okay, so let's open up to our thing. So y equals x, we're going to graph that line. It just literally is a proportional line. It goes straight through here, the origin and the corners. Ooh. Oh, that one's not right. That's better. Okay, so that's the line. It goes straight through. It's, if you need points, it goes through 1, 1, 2, 2, all of that. Okay, so I have A, B, C. So for this, A prime is gonna be, so I have -3, 4, so that's gonna be 4, -3. B prime is gonna be 1, -3, and C prime is gonna be 1, 0. Okay, so 1, 0 is right here. Oh, excuse me, no, it's not. That's the origin. Whoops. 1, 0 right here. So that's C prime. B prime is 1, -3. And then A prime is 4, -3. So there is my new image. So if you notice, this goes straight through the line to each other. So it should do that same thing like how the origin was. If you can draw the line from A to A prime and it goes through the origin, it did. So if you can draw A to A prime and it goes right through the line, then you're good. Okay, so then D prime. So I have -4, 2, so D prime is 2, -4. E prime is 2, 2, so that ended up being the same. And then F is -1, 2. And if you notice, E is on that line y equals x, so it's obviously going to stay there. If it's on the line of where you're reflecting from, it's going to end up staying in the exact same spot. So E prime is the same thing, so E prime. So D is 2, -4, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And then F is -1, 2. So F prime. So now our image is right here. Okay, so we reflected across y equals x, because if you draw straight through, it goes right through there, and it goes right through. Okay, so that is it for lesson 2.2 video 1. Bye. Or 2.1 video 1. Bye.